I don't know how much thought you guys put into this, but with the whole AI and automatic channels, those that pump content that there isn't really anything behind it, there's no purpose, no reason other than just milking the algorithm, I guess, and generating revenue. I tell myself that I have one goal as a consumer of online content. At the very least, if I'm going to engage with something that's AI, I'm going to engage with it to call out how dumb and stupid it is. You ever swipe through the feed and you may hear of something that's so absurd and so ridiculous that you turn to the comments and then they confirm that what you had observed was actually indeed ridiculous and not true. I'm glad that some people can identify it as AI, but I also feel bad and get worried by the folks who, if this is their genuine, sincere comment, they don't realize that it's AI. An example of this, the one that I saw that was super bad, it had to do with this AI channel that generates images of people in the military, especially women in the military, and it was having these women with like exaggerated figures. And you can tell that it's AI because they look plasticky. But for some reason, some people in the comments, maybe these comments are bots themselves, but they were talking about how these people are so attractive. Thank you for serving the country, or they look so good, or what is it? Military capability comes in all races and sizes and genders and all that mess, right? And I'm telling myself, if these people are genuinely complimenting the soldiers being featured in the video, I feel so bad that they're being fooled, thinking that they are actual representatives because the AI is giving them names. You can see that the hair doesn't look right. You can tell that they're not even in uniform because some of them have like weird necklines. At least, me personally, if I'm not making fun of AI, at the very least, I don't want to consume it as a way of me actually being invested to an AI channel, even if it's useful. I like for usefulness to continue to come from other human sources. Like if I'm getting advice on something, a lesson on something, training on something, I want it to come from an actual person who has experience, who has emotion, who has feelings, who has an actual sense of complexity and nuances, and this comes from them. Even if a person may struggle to string together some descriptions, I know I struggle describing food sometimes and other miscellaneous things, but at least you know that I'm a real person with real experiences. You hear my breath as I speak, even if I trim it out as I'm editing. Sometimes my commitment with my online activity is always going to be, if I'm going to waste my time online getting entertainment, I want to give my time to an actual real person, someone who can transform me, and maybe someone who I may have a little bit of an impact on by leaving a comment that's actually rich, a comment that's actually meaningful. It has depth to it. It's a worthy investment for the reader. And even if it's not the channel owner exactly reading it, which anytime I leave a comment, my comment is intended for the channel owner. I'm not trying to fish for replies. And once in a while, I may leave a reply under someone who may have some replies going for them, but it's because I'm responding, of course, to the original author. And after that, I honestly don't read it. I went back to only one comment the other day on someone else's channel, and it had to do with how this person was commenting back at me for me saying on a video about how CEOs don't eat the food from their own restaurants if they are restaurant CEOs. And my comment was something along the lines of, what I find weird about CEOs having these restaurants is that they're not willing to partake in the diet that they serve their customers. And then someone was like, you do realize that if they ate that way, they would die, right? And I was like, you do realize that is literally what I said. I'm thinking, this is exactly why when I leave a comment on someone else's channel, I leave it. And unless I get a notification that the channel owner somehow replied to me or acknowledged me in any way, then I don't find out what other garbage is being uttered under my string of comments, because most of the time I'm trying to be a troll about the content I'm watching. I'm not attacking the channel owner. I'm attacking the ridiculousness I may be seeing on the content. And lately it's been uh, body cam footage. It's been exciting watching some of those because it gives me a perspective about how not everything is how it seems. And people have erroneous perceptions for no reason. And I think it's important that you look for this information, seek out the truth, and understand why some things happen. There's always the potential that more than one side can be wrong at things, but it also takes me back to my retail experiences, and I'm like, these behavioral issues that I'm talking about that some people will criticize me for and disagree with me, whether at the job, here on the channel, or in my friends group and stuff, like, no, I see what I see, I say what I say. I'm not going to worry about how it's presented anymore. If the information is truthful, it can be coming from a coloring book. It is the way it is, and period. For that reason, I think it's better if you invest your time with a human being as opposed to an AI channel or machine thing, because I think that you get more enrichment out of interacting with a person, because I think you should be curious about what led a person to arrive at the conclusions that they arrived at. And when I see body cam footage of some people acting like they can't trust the police, they don't feel safe with the police, and it's because, have you seen how the world is? Have you seen what happens to people like us? And y'all be killing people and y'all be going on power trips and all that. I'm like, it's sad that they couldn't have landed a cooler cop, even if they tried. This person was being super nice from the get go, but you decided to turn that interaction into something else. It reminds me of me in retail. I have the same greeting, same tone, same interaction, same warmth, same everything, performance for everybody. But you decide how you will continue that interaction. Are you going to be respectful? Are you going to have your mind all over the place? Are you going to allow online brain rot to control you? And that's what you're going to spew out here? Or are you going to have some common sense and behave like an independent, free thinking human being that has been through at least a little bit of education? And you know basic courtesy, basic manners, basic common sense stuff. This is not your first time shopping or your first time ever stepping into a business. So you have an idea of how this works, just all those things, as opposed to behaving unnecessarily ignorant. And during those body cam interactions, there is a lot of unnecessary ignorance going on too. And like I've said before, I say this often, but I'm telling you, you changed my life when you told me in the comments that there's a lot of unnecessary ignorance out there. And just so you know, if you look at it like that, then you yourself may pick up on your own personal unnecessary ignorance. I know I have my fair bit of unnecessary ignorance and I try to do something about it. But in my day to day, basic things like how to handle my bills, how to handle my car, how to handle being in this apartment, handling my due dates with things like work assignments and all that. Come on. That's the bare minimum that you should have under control. So, yeah, you guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't expect you to follow what I'm saying exactly or believe in what I'm saying or even agree with what I'm saying. It's more about how I would rather allow myself to be, what is it, have my time wasted on or invested by donating it to a person as opposed to an entity that's not living and it's not out here struggling, feeling things physically, emotionally, or mentally like a human would. And that's why I just don't want to support AI channels, AI content, because I just think that, okay, even if the information is truthful and accurate and right, and it could even be helpful here and there, I would rather be introduced to the idea by the AI and then I'll click off it within the first 10-20 seconds, and then I'll see if a human has covered the information that the AI was talking about and it inspired me. Like maybe I will stumble upon something that interests me because the AI introduced it to me, but I want to consume the content from a human. And I think, like I said, the most important thing to me is I know I'm wasting my time. If I'm going to waste my time, I want to donate that time that is a waste for me. My wasted time, I want for it to turn into a donation of my time to someone else, but an actual real person, not a stupid goddamn computer. Because this stupid goddamn computer is existing to fund real people somewhere, but those real people somewhere are not doing their job, which is you sit here and you show up like the rest of us. Okay, that's it. Bye.